The movie business continues to boom as Barbie and Oppenheimer continue to surge. Could Mattel ruin their new IP with another cinematic universe? And stick around to the end of the episode to hear our review of the new trailer for Loki Season 2. All this on the Movie Mob Podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Movie Mob Podcast, episode 59 here. I don't know any sports players number 59. Do you, Matt?
Nope.
Well, we get a great episode anyway. Nick, as always, behind the camera. Matt to the side here. RJ here. Let's get into it. We got a lot of news topics, and I've had a lot of caffeine this morning. Good. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into this?
Oh yeah, Nick, you got a topic.
I do.
You
know, RJ. It's always sad when someone dies.
Sure.
But let's be honest here. When someone dies and they're
Not
like
Hitler.
Yeah, that's true. That's the exception that makes the rule, I would say. But when someone goes and they're like 90, 95, if you make it on the Today Show in the Smuckers century, you know what I mean?
Love Smuckers.
When they say like, 110, whatever it is.
If I had Smuckers, I'd die.
Yeah,
you would.
True.
Peanut butter.
That's true, yeah. Peanut butter allergy. You're one of those kids that you sit alone at lunch, right?
Maybe today's the day.
That's rough, Matt. But it is actually, it's tragic to say the least. We've been losing celebrities left and right. Tony Bennett, rags to riches. Yep. That's sad. But then I sent this to Matt the other day. This one is a really big deal, and for a few reasons. I don't want to start off on such a sad note, but it's a big deal to me. This kid, Angus Cloud, played Fezco on Euphoria. Never was an actor before Euphoria. Breakout performance, really, really well done. 25 years old. His father passed away. He was super depressed. They're saying possible overdose or whatever, but 25, I don't know, man. It was, it's always better to talk to somebody if you're feeling depressed as opposed to using substances or something like that. And I just thought it was worth noting because you're not a fan of Euphoria, right, RJ?
I've never seen it. But I recognize his face.
Yeah. This kid, him and his little companion on the show, Ashtray. They're literally standout performances. And just knowing that he had never acted before or anything. And I don't know, man. It hit me really hard. Like, it's a rough.
How old was he? 25?
25. 1998 he was born.
The 27 Club, all those young artists that have died.
Oh yeah, like Janis Joplin
overdose.
And all them.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you got to know, especially in today's day and age when everything centers around mental health and all that other stuff. There's always you're not a loser for asking for help if you're depressed about something. Like, he went to Ireland because his father passed away and they buried him in Ireland. And his mother was saying to, I think it was TMZ, that ever since they came back he just wasn't the same. And I don't know. There's always hope, and drugs and or alcohol, whatever, is not the answer. Obviously, suicide is never the answer or anything like that. But it's just, I don't know. I thought it was worth mentioning because there's clearly. We just never know what people are going through. You know what I mean? And it's rough. I don't know. The kid was really great. And not that I would be bringing it up or not that I wouldn't say anything if he wasn't great, but on top of how tragic of a loss it is, he was also an outstanding actor. I mean, he's my favorite character in the show.
I think
by far.
When I talk to people about Euphoria, every single person has him at least in their top 3 for favorite characters.
Easily. And
I think, he was the heart and soul of the show. I think, because in the show, it's a lot of characters are really gray. He's really one of the few pure characters, and I think a lot of people relate to his character because his character in the show is his character is just, he's the nicest guy, nicest kid, but he's just been dealt the worst hand.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think everyone can kind of knows a kid who's just the best kid, nicest kid, but he's just life's just been so tough for him. And you're right, it's really sad news. And he was kind of the heart and soul of the show.
I know. I wonder. So, just wondering. Do you know anything about the filming of you? Are they filmed a season 3 or anything?
Season 3 was supposed to come out in 2025. I think production filming hadn't starting yet because Zendaya was busy with Dune.
Yeah, and she just did another movie too.
Yeah, and so she had been busy. So I think they were gonna start shooting at the end of this year, early 2020, and they were looking at 2025 for season 3. But the way it ended, he was gonna be a major part.
I know. Yeah,
of Caesar 3. He's probably
It's kind of
the second character behind Zendaya. I mean,
it's a bit similar to like when Polly died in Peaky Blinders, and then they had that.
Yeah.
You know, the way they wrote that in, though, I think was really great. It was almost seamless how they wrote her into that last season.
Well, it worked. Yeah.
Now, but if he's a big character,
So he wasn't. So this was the thing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to give
Yeah.
anything away. And I really think Euphoria specifically, forget The Idol, like that was dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but Euphoria specifically, I feel like it would definitely be like a you and Allie kind of show to watch together. But I feel like you would actually really like it. It's not too dark. It's a little over the top in some respects and everything. But then you have characters like this kid who start off like season 1, he's very in the background. Like I think he's only in like 3 episodes in the first season.
He's a side character in season 1, and everyone loved him so much they kind of made him one of the mains in season 2.
Right. And season 2, I mean, he progresses. By the end of season 2, it's set up that it's going to be like, I mean, I don't know. Listen, there's a lot of people out there and a lot of topics and issues and whatever and people and this industry and everything else that piss me off and I could talk about for hours, okay? But when it comes to stuff like this, where you have somebody who in real life clearly was struggling with some stuff and was dealt like not a great hand, and then is given an opportunity to do something really cool with his life, and then something like this happens. This is one of those things with the industry that I just don't really like, that they don't help, you know? There's no... No one knew. No producer, no one in the background, no one higher up could say, hey, dude, I know your dad just passed away, or I know you're going through some shit, and whether you like it or not, I'm here to help you, and like we got to keep you. You know what I mean? Like you see this happen all the time. Like where's the support? Where's the help? Everything's always about money. Everything's always about working more and more and more, and there's never any like real true bond between anybody. And then shit like this happens. It just sucks. I don't know. I don't mean to start off on such a sad note, but it just happened. Too late. Everybody's in tears, and you know, whatever. I don't know, RJ. I figured it was important.
I mean, it's a shame. Obviously, I haven't seen the show, but I definitely recognize his face, and I've heard the name Fezco before, so obviously he had an impact on people. So it's a shame, but you know, he's gonna live through those first 2 seasons. I'm sure people are gonna keep watching that show. So
it's like a James Dean. Only did 3 movies before he died.
Yeah.
So. I don't know, man. Yeah,
but
just thought it was worth saying. It's always sad when anybody dies, but Tony Bennett was, 150.
Yes,
and what an illustrious career that guy had.
Seriously,
you know.
Yeah.
You saw him.
I did a few years ago.
Rags to riches.
Crazy.
You saw Tony Bennett in concert?
Yeah, in Lowell a few years ago.
Oh my God. He
Yeah.
had Alzheimer's. You must have
I
seen
know.
like
Well,
one
he
of
was
his
with his
last.
daughter too, so like he did part of the show, then she would do some songs. But he was really good. I mean, he was still in his 90s at that point.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, have you seen Blow?
No, that's on the list though.
Yeah.
That's on the list.
Well, Pee Wee Herman died, but Pee Wee
Oh,
Herman
he is in that movie.
Yeah, he
right?
played Derek for real. He's another drug dealer, but he
I like that name.
yeah, Derek for real.
Derek for real.
Dude. What a
I like
great.
that. I don't know. I
The
like
only
that
reason
name.
I know Pee Wee Herman really is because I heard he jerked off in a movie
Oh,
theater.
wow.
Yeah, no, he definitely had some sexual issues. So some allegations. He's not, but
Chronic
that's-
masturbator.
But did he have
Well,
what?
Did he have a what?
Nothing.
No,
Just
it was
move
just-
on.
yeah. No,
This is
we're
not
going,
going in a good
we're going down a
direction
dark
right
road.
now.
Yeah, a little bit. On a happier note, RJ, what do we got next?
The movie business is back.
Oh, okay.
At least for now.
Huh.
Barbie and Oppenheimer had a record low drop in box office. I think they were in the high 40% range of drops, which is incredible, especially when you have 2 of them. I think a lot of people were expecting maybe Barbie to take the just like blowout and Oppenheimer kind of settled down. But Oppenheimer made $46 million in its second weekend, and Barbie made $93 million in its second weekend. And what's crazy about this, especially for Oppenheimer, is Oppenheimer was projected opening weekend to make 49.
Yeah.
So it
And they
made
close
what it was
90.
projected. Yeah, and it made around 80. Yeah. So incredible stuff. We've talked about it. We talked about it last week on our review, how crazy it is. Obviously, Nolan drove that movie forward in the marketing, and Barbie is a big IP and stuff. But still, I think it's showing that people are coming out for new movies, original stories, and maybe this is going to shift things. I don't know. Matt, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I think it's great news.
Yeah.
Like you said, the opening weekend box office for each movies were unbelievable. I think they're, especially Barbie's like a perfect summer movie.
Yeah.
And then like
point.
Oppenheimer too, like anytime Nolan drops a movie, it's, everyone's going. It's a big blockbuster event. Dude, and I think it's cool, especially now with, the strike going on. There might, now stuff might start to be pushed back and slow down. So I guess it's good timing in this sense that, like, kind of the movie business is kind of holding the torch.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Keeping people invested, keeping people interested, while, other projects may be pushed back. It's great to see. And also, I will say, I think it's important both movies were really good.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know what I mean? If, like, everyone comes out for these movies and they suck,
right,
next time this happens, people say, you know what? I did it last, not going. Both of these were good, so now people may, it's like, that was a nice weekend, that was a nice time I had, maybe I'll go see Dune too.
Well, that's the thing is what basically sums up the weeks following the opening week. It's everyone who's excited and anticipating the movie is going to go opening weekend. It's word of mouth. Word of mouth is what's going to keep that thing going, and clearly the word of mouth was good on this. And obviously some of those showings were sold out, so people had to go the next weekend. I mean, I said to you, Nick, the other day, I went to see Oppenheimer again with my parents at an 11 a.m. showing. I thought, like, oh, it'll be easy, get a seat, easy. Sold out show again.
That's crazy.
And it reminded me, your take, or your that text message conversation with you reminded me of how old I am, because your father is older. I agreed with everything he said.
Yeah.
Like, it was just funny.
Joey, he wasn't a fan of the big screen. And
I don't blame. Listen, it's a lot.
But we were also pretty close to the screen there. But
oh, really?
Well, because we showed up like 20 minutes early. I'm thinking, walk in, get a good seat at 10:30. In the morning.
Breakfast.
All sold out. Yeah.
Sold out again, huh?
Yeah, all 3 showings that day there.
I think there's something to be said too about the, like, how we're like all cattle following the herd a little bit, which is a good thing, especially for when numbers really drive this industry. But, like, nobody wants to be seen as a loser. You know what I mean? So, like, if everybody's seeing Barbie and Oppenheimer,
it's the thing to do.
You have to do it.
It's the thing to do.
You have to do it, or you're the one person in your friend group, whatever it is, that didn't go see Barbie and Oppenheimer.
He's right.
But I usually try not to fall into that thing.
No, I'm not saying us.
But
I'm saying
we were here before, even if it wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
People in general, though, like listen, I'm sure there are movies that the 3 of us would go see, even if they're not that popular,
right?
Because we like movies. You know what I mean?
Indubitably.
But, like, this is a thing.
But I think,
this is a big thing.
That's good, because we would have been there regardless.
Sure.
It's great that the other general audience is also coming there.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I'm saying, like, now that we're in this situation, like, there's nobody.
Yeah,
there's nobody who's not seeing this. I don't know if Dune 2 is going to have. Listen,
you're fucking crazy, Nick.
Listen,
I love Dune.
Yeah. I don't know if Dune Part 2 is going to have the same turnout that, like, Barbie has.
No, I don't think Barbie.
Exactly, but Dune Part 2 is a huge movie.
I think Dune Part 2 is going to make a lot more money than the first one did.
Right.
And, obviously there were rumors that it was going to get pushed, but the head of IMAX came out and said, like, there's no way they're pushing that movie.
Yes.
It has all the IMAX screenings for, like, 6 weeks.
So Dune's staying in November.
It sounds like
Thank God. All right, everyone, relax.
Everybody calm down.
And Oppenheimer actually just pushed their IMAX another week, so they're going to have it an extra weekend.
I bet Tom
IMAX
Cruise is happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, the only one losing in the movie industry right now is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, well,
come on.
Yeah. Listen, you think you do so great with Top Gun Maverick, and then, and then you...
well, they dropped the ball with that release.
Would you rather be overpaid or underrated?
Wow, Jay-Z.
It's a Jay-Z, yeah.
It's a great
line.
Thank you.
Why not both?
Thank you. Thanks, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
that's true. He did say
Thank you for remembering his line.
I think this is great. And, Matt, you made a good point. It is during the strike here. And actually, something came out this morning saying that the Writers Guild is going to meet with the studios Friday, so when this episode drops. So hopefully something comes out of that. But you'd hope that studios look at this in this down period and see maybe we should change directions.
You would think.
Will they do that? Probably not.
Well, based on your next topic, I would totally think that.
Let's get into that next topic here, because Warner Brothers, Mattel, the toy company, obviously, that owns Barbie, big success, Barbie, obviously. It's nearing $1 billion, right? 795. My projection was way off last week. Right? We can edit that.
But no,
we'll censor that. We'll censor
but that's the thing, right? This is my whole point. Not to go off, I'm just saying, like, your projection wasn't off. This is a friggin' anomaly, dude. Like, this is crazy that this is happening.
I'm like really. I guess I'm surprised that it's like outside of the U.S. performance.
Well, yeah. Well,
'Cause,
yeah.
like, to me, Barbie is very
names.
American.
But you get names. You got Margot
That is
Robbie and
true.
Ryan Gosling,
Yeah.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
true.
mean?
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Names.
So, and again, like, the marketing has been fantastic. But
Yeah,
Mattel, obviously, they want to get big. They want to get into the movie business now after Barbie.
I guess so.
Again, from a business standpoint, if a Barbie movie makes $1 billion, they're gonna make a sequel. We saw this happen with the Joker.
We getting a Ken movie?
Well, no.
Oh.
No,
They
God,
said
no.
Greta
Patriarchy.
Gerwig has said that she doesn't have any plans for a Barbie sequel, but they have different plans. A lot of plans here. So these are some of the movies they want to make. They want to make a cinematic universe for Mattel.
Okay. Are we joking?
I'm not joking.
Is this serious?
I'm serious.
You're okay.
Just wait till
Barbie.
you see these. Yep.
Barbie, Barney, all the bees, Polly Pocket.
I don't know that one.
I don't know either. I've
Yeah.
heard of it though.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Oh
Wow. Thomas
People
Aquinas.
forget Thomas.
All right.
Thomas the
Turn.
Turn.
Yeah,
Back in the
he's
day.
great. I'll go see a Thomas
He's a
movie.
good guy, Thomas.
And Friends.
And then the last one now.
And then American Girl doll, obviously. And then there were a bunch of other ones, but I think 14 properties in all.
Oh shit! I didn't
Oh,
realize
yeah.
you only put the 4 on there.
And the Barney movie's already in development, I guess, with Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, there were some problems with Barney back in.
I was
the
gonna
day.
say, isn't
Yeah.
He did
Barney
some diddling. He did some diddling.
Oh,
Yeah, well, the original,
Curious
yes.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
original guy in the suit did
That's
some
what it's
diddling.
about. Just
Yeah.
take a turn.
I wonder. Well, go.
Well, here's the issue with this. I mean, there's a lot of issues. Obviously,
I was gonna say the issue. Go ahead.
we love the MCU.
Oh.
What it was when it started, because it was
Endgame.
very new.
Yeah.
The way they connected all those movies, and up until Endgame, I feel like it was a great story.
Dude, that run was unbelievable.
Yeah.
From Iron Man, the first Iron Man to Endgame.
Mhm.
Those 10, 11 years, unbelievable.
And I think why it was so successful is because it was a new thing,
Mhm.
right? It was like serialized movies.
Yes.
But then
Never
it
been
was
done before.
also never really planned to the point where they were making it movie by movie. Yes, they set up things, but they never were like, oh, they didn't know in 2008 they were going to make Endgame.
Yeah, you didn't know it was gonna pop off
Right.
like it did.
So when they say beforehand, we're going to make a cinematic universe, you're just setting yourself up for failure, because Universal did that too. I don't know if you remember when the Tom Cruise Mummy movie
DC.
came out. They did a whole press thing.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's going to be Jekyll and Hyde. Javier Bardem's going to be Frankenstein. Johnny Depp's going to be the Invisible Man. They had the photo shoots.
Yeah.
And the Mummy bombed, and we never got a cinematic universe from that.
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
That's Mike Tyson. You know, they get this great plan, then Polly Pocket comes out, it
Yeah.
bombs, everything else gets scrapped. You know what I mean? You know.
But and also, is the audience for Polly Pocket the same as Barbie?
Of course not.
Well,
Yeah.
so this is my question, right? Are you going? So Barbie, love it or hate it or whatever. I think part of the appeal of this Barbie movie was that it wasn't a children's movie.
It was well made.
Right, yeah,
Good
no,
acting.
but
You had an indie
there's,
director
but there's good
stepping
movies
in.
that are made for kids too. Like I like Monsters Inc.
True.
You know what I mean? You're never gonna tell me that's a bad movie.
Great movie.
But it's made for kids. I mean, that's a kids movie.
Young
you know?
Bloods.
But like,
The Cat in the Hat.
yeah,
Shrek.
yeah. I don't know how you're gonna make a Barney movie PG-13.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, though. Are they
I don't
even
know.
going to match the tone of what Barbie was?
Dude, Thomas the Train, that has to be animated. You know what I mean? Like some of these movies,
Yeah,
like
imagine
what?
it is a train.
These are all going to be, none of
I
these,
didn't even think of
they
that.
might make a little money, but none of them are going to come close to Barbie.
I don't know. I wouldn't
know?
put it past them to do, like, it actually be a train. And they have, like, the
A face,
CGI
a CGI face on
like
the
they
front.
did the Clifford movie with the friggin' dog.
pretty
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not like a gigantic fan of Thomas the Tank Engine like nowadays.
Train engine.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's not a
Back in the
tank.
day,
Imagine
He's
the
a
fuck-
tank. He's a big
imagine it's-
boy.
You get George Patton.
Yeah,
talking
I
tank.
know, right?
Fucking-
Boop, boop. But back in the day, like there are real people on green screen or whatever, however they shot it. Like there's
Yeah.
real people characters in Thomas the Train.
Yeah. He's
in-
got
in the
friends.
thing.
Thomas and friends.
Thomas and Friends, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but do we need a PG-13 Thomas the Train?
Here's how you do a Thomas the Train Engine movie. All right. You get it's just about a kid, like in his teens, maybe in his 30s.
Yeah.
And he starts doing acid. and LSD, and he
Starts
starts talking
to
to trains.
That's
Right.
And it's kind of his own universe that he just has, like, it exists
It's
whenever
like a
he's on
dream
LSD.
sequence, like he's
Yeah.
tripping.
That's how
Right.
you make it PG-13.
And at the end, he falls asleep on the tracks.
Like
yeah,
the
yeah. Oh, wow. Brilliant. Brilliant.
So bad.
That's
That'd
great.
be so
we got a
bad.
dark episode today.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
dark humor. Dark humor.
But, I mean,
you know?
listen, this is going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work. We're probably going to get one or two of these movies. They're going to suck, and then this is never going to be spoken
That'd
about.
be
Well,
my
I don't even
prediction.
know like what they're gonna do. I don't know. Well, you guys
The
probably
only
were way too
cinematic
young.
universe we need right now is the Nintendo
Yep.
cinematic universe. That's all we
Yep. Link.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My little sister's 5 years younger than me. So she was born in '99. So
That's me. That's me too.
okay. So like the American Girl growing up, like that whole thing, that was huge for a while. Early 2000s American Girl
Yeah, they were
stuff.
big.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Having those they had American Girl magazine, they had all the different dolls. It was a culture thing. Like you could buy like the Italian American Girl doll.
Yeah.
You could buy the
Lucia.
Chinese, literally, like you could buy all these different ones. And then, you know,
Connie.
but then they had different time
bruised
periods.
eye.
They had like the characters, and then each character had a book with
Oh.
a story that these girls
that's
could
nice.
buy. and
Yeah.
all this other stuff. So I wonder, like, what the hell they're gonna do with these. I think they had even a show at one point, no, or something. They had
Maybe.
something.
Sure.
See, I feel like with
animated or-
American Girl doll, you go rated R,
There you go.
and they come
That-
alive and
that
stuff.
could
You
go-
do like, yeah.
You know
Oh,
they-
like Chucky.
Yeah, like
Okay, I
Chucky.
thought
Yeah.
you were talking
No.
about little American
No,
girls
and they
going
take
rated
over the
They
universe.
should do like a rated R Care Bear.
Yeah.
You know what the Care Bear is?
Care Bear, but they could do like Pooh, Blood, and Honey.
That's
except
what
Care
I'm
Bear.
saying.
Yeah.
Like Care Bears, they're all nice. They go to the real world. You go back to Care Bear land, and it's like anarchy.
Yeah.
Like the Care
Right.
Bears have like gone rogue.
Right.
And
They
You
better
have
be
the
listening to
Care
them.
more
Bear,
rainbows.
and then you have the one. Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
And then they have the one that like gets a can of spray paint and tight and like
Yeah.
writes.
That's how you do it.
I don't Care Bear.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Care Bears,
good.
they turn.
Well, I think either way, this is going to be interesting to watch. But for the sake of a good transition, I'm actually going to throw this topic in there.
Oh.
Cinematic universe is while we're on that topic. We got James Gunn cinematic universe, the DC universe that's coming out. We got Superman Legacy in 2025, I think.
Sure.
Something came out this morning,
Oh.
Wednesday when this show comes out. But Gal Gadot reportedly,
Oh, you did mention this. Go.
there, Wonder Woman 3 is in development with her as part of the James Gunn
Nice.
universe. I don't agree with you, Matt.
Okay, you go ahead.
Well, I haven't seen the second Wonder Woman movie.
It's
I've heard awful things.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Obviously,
superhero
I think
not.
a lot of people like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I enjoyed her as
Yep.
Wonder Woman.
Yep.
The bigger issue, and I know it's like we're beating a dead horse here, but how do you justify this, that you didn't keep Henry Cavill around or Ben Affleck, but you're keeping Gal Gadot? There's no consistency, and I'm starting to get aggravated because James Gunn, whenever asked these things, just dances around it. You need to like tell us what
Dude.
your plan is, because how are you doing that?
You know,
Right.
you know what I bet it is, dude? I bet he just doesn't either like Henry Cavill or think he's good.
That was the rumor.
That's probably
and
what
I'm
it is,
starting to
dude.
believe that more.
That's definitely what it. Because if he's doing this, you keep the Urza Miller movie. You're bringing her back. You know, you had Batman back. Ben Affleck's probably like, I'm just done.
Yeah,
you know?
I yeah, definitely on that
you got
side.
Pat. He's
Yeah.
like, whatever. You know, I bet he just doesn't think Cavill's good.
And I feel like he
you know?
wants.
And
I
he
feel
can't
like
come out
Warner
and say
Brothers.
that. He can't come out and say
No,
that.
that is true.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like Warner Brothers too wants to disassociate from the Snyder movies as much as possible.
That's true. And I mean, I will say though, Cavill, I think still puts asses in seats.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I think if you still made like a Cavill Superman, I think people
if
would.
it was done well.
Yeah,
definitely.
people would still come out. I think it'd probably Gunn. Maybe he doesn't think he's good, or maybe the direction or what he wants Superman to me, he doesn't think Cavill can do.
Yeah, that's
Which is-
fair. But
which is a
like,
shame.
if Wonder Woman 2 was a huge success,
Awful.
like the first
It was
one,
terrible.
I could see this more. But if that movie was bad,
That's 1984, right?
yeah,
Was
It was
second one?
why
awful.
continue this?
Yeah,
I-
nobody liked.
And it's just going to be
1984.
confusing. Like, is it connected? Are those movies connected, but Cavill's not connected? It's like,
So yeah, I don't mind. I'm personally a big Gal Gadot fan.
yeah, me too. Yeah,
So I have no problem turning a
I
blind
just think
eye.
DC keeps. I hope they can right the ship, but they keep like putting themselves in these positions where like they're just confusing themselves.
So unfortunately, I feel like they put in. It doesn't matter if it's like everywhere from the president of the United States, because this country's run like a business, so that you have that CEO face as the president. You know what I mean? But they always do this in businesses as well. They'll put somebody out front, the face of a movement, a figurehead, right? Like James Gunn. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we blame James Gunn, but if he's really dancing around these topics, it might be because he can't say who's really pulling strings, or but saying
he is the.
I'm just saying.
He is the head of DC Studios.
But there's a board. I guarantee you there's a board of
Warner
people,
Brothers, yeah.
Right, who says, hey, James, here's what you think. You know what I mean?
But that's fair. But what I'm going to hit with business perspective,
let's be honest.
though, Nick. Wonder Woman 2 bombed both in money and in ratings.
And look at the success of Barbie with the patriarchy and all the other shit that they were preaching.
But you can recast Wonder Woman, make another Wonder Woman. I'm not I'm all for a new Wonder Woman movie, but I don't think they should continue that.
So my other thought is, what if Wonder Woman 3, hear me out, is like some sort of transition movie where she dies or retires or something, and then they do like they did with the Watchmen series, where it's like forward in the future and you have old people and younger people.
I actually bet Wonder Woman 3 is good, because if Gunn's doing it, I feel like he's going to want to like end it on a good note. You know what I mean? And I feel like that first Wonder Woman, I liked it. I don't think it was as good as everyone else thinks it is. I did enjoy it. That was huge. I mean, that was, because it was like the first female lead in a superhero movie, right?
Yeah.
And that was huge. So I think, if this movie comes out and is really good, I think it could do a lot for DC.
I mean, I understand where both of you are coming from. My issue lies in the fact that it seems like this is going to be a part of the DC universe, the new one that James Gunn is starting with Superman.
But this is
why
why
that to me doesn't make sense.
Last week when you said that Henry Cavill's and everything, like he's really not in a lot of stuff anymore. Something had to have happened. He either argued about a contract, like something had to happen.
The thing about Cavill
behind the scenes.
I mean, we don't know him personally, obviously, but from what I've heard, he's a nerd. He knows the material sometimes more than
the people who wrote it. Right,
and that was the issue with The Witcher, and that's why he's left.
He was upset with the direction they were
going.
Right,
and he knows Superman, and I think he appreciated Zack Snyder's vision for a lot of it. And I don't know. We're never gonna know. Probably.
This is why it's difficult. And I've brought topics up to you where you've said to me before, like, I don't know if we should even get into it. Just not because we even agree or disagree or anything like that, but it's too much. And I feel like there is something to be said about drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit when it comes to, do you want to have a career? Do you want to have a job, or do you want to be right? And if you're Henry Cavill and you're listen. It doesn't matter how studly you are, okay? If you're going to argue every point about every single thing, they're gonna get fired.
Yeah, know it all.
Because just because you know everything about the way it was doesn't mean that you're not the one writing the checks.
Yeah.
So you don't have the say. If you want to cash your check, you sit there quietly and you do your job, and then you go home. And then you smile for the camera and say, that was the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Jokic.
But I still feel like, if he doesn't shoot himself in both legs and the feet and everywhere else, and, if he's able to salvage any sort of career, I still think that a nice little older Cavill reprise as like a Bond would be friggin' sick.
See.
See. As long as he doesn't go watch the old ones and then make it so that, he has to be by the book.
I just feel like, in my opinion, from a business and creative standpoint, a Wonder Woman 3 with her does not make sense.
With Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's time to move on. Make another Wonder Woman movie and recast.
It is interesting.
She's listen. We like Gal Gadot. We
love Gal Gadot. I mean, come on.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that she's an incredible actress.
Who cares?
But you know what I'm saying. It's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But dude, I will say she's obviously a beautiful, very attractive woman. I think she fits the look of Wonder Woman.
She does. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just don't think she's so good that we could. It's not like Tony Stark. We can't imagine Iron Man not Tony Stark. I can imagine Wonder Woman.
Acting wise, I don't think she's terrible, but you're right. She's not like so great.
I mean, she started as the
I will
wavy
say,
lady in
I will say some of being like a superhero or like a lead in like one of those types of movies, you don't always need the best actor. The look is a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think she's got that, and I think Henry has that too.
Yeah.
So I think you're right though. They are kind of picking and choosing. It seems like what they want to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's doesn't make sense.
It seems like it's like, they're going by day. Like, if Flash makes a lot of money, Ezra Miller staying as the Flash.
Yeah.
That bombed.
I bet
Haven't
they
heard
are.
about him since.
I bet they are. That's a problem. I don't agree with it, but I guarantee you that's what they're doing. They're saying
but that movie did not make any money. I don't think it'll.
The Flash.
No.
Yeah,
we
no,
just
it
are
didn't do
too far
shit.
deep in that. We just got to release
And I think
it.
the same thing's going to happen with the Blue Beetle movie. They're saying it's part of the new thing, but once that movie bombs, they're never going to mention it again.
Yeah, I saw a lot of trailers for that. Like it was like for like 3 days, and then nothing.
Right.
Like they did like
Yeah,
one little push
and
for
that's the
advertising.
difference between that and Barbie and Oppenheimer marketing.
Dude, they spent 150. All they talked about for a year was Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that everybody's seeing these movies.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like you do a movie like Blue Beetle, a character no one knows and cares about. You have to make that movie really good or like really like I don't know, innovative, creative, or else no one's gonna care. Like Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yes.
no one was gonna see that, but it was so original and so creative and so good. Just it created its own, and you had stars.
And the MCU was pre-established
Yes.
for a few years
Yeah,
too.
like if Guardians came out and you didn't really have, if you didn't have Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana, and the movie was not even bad, it was okay. No one's going to see it. No one gives a shit.
They're never.
you know?
They weren't going to open the MCU up with
Yeah.
Guardians.
The
They
problem,
had-
the problem with the Blue Beetle movie specifically is that you have to bring in the current fans, of which there's clearly not that many, and then you have to also generate a new audience of fans. You know what I mean? Like you have to create fans of something that they've never heard of before they even go see it.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it where the advertising comes in. I will say that from the trailers that I saw for Blue Beetle, it didn't look too bad.
Didn't look terrible. I
Didn't
mean,
look
listen,
too
if
bad.
George Lopez is in it, you got me.
Yeah.
Give 65%.
Yeah,
Rotten
around
Tomato.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
It'll be
like,
okay.
maybe like I'll go see it. I'll definitely watch it on like a streaming service at some
It'll
point.
be okay.
You know?
Mhm.
But
What
it's
what
not.
do you always say? Cereal, right?
Wait, what?
Cereal.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
good?
it's Cheerios. Like it's
Cheerios,
fine.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
Cheerios,
going
yeah.
out of my way. Yo, let's go get Cheerios.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
hungry. It's there. Whatever. I'll have a bowl. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
They're
yeah.
all right.
You're
They're
out of
there.
salmon. You don't
Yeah.
feel like turning the stove
Yeah,
on.
they get the job done. you know?
Right. Right. That's funny.
Well,
Cheerios.
on the same topic of, I guess, cinematic universe, a lot of cinematic universe
Yeah.
stuff. Star Wars is a long-running cinematic
Ugh.
universe in many ways, but you know Donald Glover,
I've heard of-
Childish Gambino.
I've heard of him.
Him and his brother
Oh, wait, I didn't know.
are going to be writing, and obviously Donald will be starring in a Lando series on Disney Plus. Now, this has been rumored in development since he was in Solo, a Star Wars story. And I will say, I think we had a fun time with Solo.
Listen, man. For what it was, I enjoyed it.
Should have never been made.
No,
but
I enjoyed it.
we
It was
enjoyed
fine.
Donald Glover's performance
Yeah.
as Lando. I think he really
He's good.
dialed into that.
My boy from Oppenheimer he played
Alden
Solo,
Ehrenreich.
right?
Yeah, Alden
He's
Ehrenreich.
good.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
a good
actually
guy.
really good.
And I was
good,
going to
yeah.
be very
And
critical.
the odds were against him.
Right,
heavily.
right,
You know what I'm
and he
saying?
was good.
And this is another issue of just, a studio releasing a movie at the wrong time. They released this in May,
Yeah, I
like
remember.
a few months after The Last Jedi came out. If they put this out in December, it might have actually made money.
Yeah,
But I don't know. This to me is it's too late.
I
They
agree.
should have capitalized on this
no
after
momentum.
that movie came out.
Mhm.
And I mean, will I sit down and watch it? Maybe, if it actually does happen, because I do really like Donald Glover. I think he's a phenomenal writer and actor. So if he's got a good vision for this, I'm sure it might be good. It's going to be a limited series, but I'm just not excited, man. And that's just Star Wars in general for me.
I everything you just said, I think the Star Wars community, me personally, agree with 1,000%. There's no momentum. If they
No.
release this, around Mando season 1 or around when this came out,
Yeah.
like I think there would be a lot of momentum because his people were talking. You know what I mean? Now no one gives a shit. The
Yeah.
Star Wars excitement is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
So unless this show comes out and it's like an Andor where it's like a lot of people are talking, it's 90 whatever percent Rotten
Yeah, yeah,
Tomatoes. I'm probably not going to see it. I'm definitely not going to watch it right when it comes out. It'll, at the very most for me, it'll be something that like you and a couple other of my friends see, like, dude, it's excellent. You got to watch it. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely not like, marking my calendar for this.
Yeah, and I mean, there is definitely a following for the Solo movie that I've seen on social media and stuff. And I'm sure if this does eventually get made, we'll probably see Alden Ehrenreich back as Han.
I don't think Solo's as bad as everyone
No,
thinks it is.
I think it's
It's
very, mediocre, maybe
Yeah.
a little better than that. But
I think there was definitely more of movement amongst fans of, or protest, I should say, amongst fans of like, we don't need a new Han Solo.
Definitely.
It's a
I was a
stupid
part
idea.
of that too. I was a part of that.
Just a
But that's
dumb
what I'm
idea.
saying. Like, that's why it wasn't as big as people thought it was going
Right.
to be. Like, people were like, we don't need this. Because it also dropped the same time as like a Star Trek movie, right? Something else came out.
It was like a month after
A few
Infinity
months
War.
after Last Jedi.
It's like a
too.
month after Infinity War.
And
they had
then
a lot.
the Last Jedi divisiveness didn't
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, well, this is what I was saying. Not to, I feel like now
Overkill.
at this point it's a little overkill with the Barbie Oppenheimer thing. With
Mm-hmm.
the amount that we talk about it, but that's the coolest part to me is that you had these two completely opposite ends of the spectrum movies. They're both original. There's no sequel. There's no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It just is these two movies, and we haven't had a movie like this in forever. And then you have something like this, which could be good. It could be good, but it's. Like, it's just, you hear it and you just go, fuck, again?
No one cares.
Like,
Yeah.
another one?
And also, too, like, I'll just say, like, I'm sure if the show comes out, it's good. He's very good as Lando. I don't know. There's something to those, like, side characters that you don't know everything behind them. They're just kind of cool when they show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lando, Boba Fett. Do we really need to go behind the curtains? I don't care. All I need to know about Lando is he's a shady character who Han used to have some dealings with.
Right.
That's enough for me.
And do we need to know every one of those
yeah.
dealings?
And it makes that interaction that they have when he first lands on Bespin.
It's
and
cool.
It's great. And then he makes reference to, last time, and it's like,
The
you don't
less
even
you know, the better.
You don't know what
Like, dude, I think the worst show they could do, they'll do it eventually.
Yeah.
They're gonna a Yoda show. You know what I mean? Like all those years, like on Dago or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. You know what I like about Yoda? He's just been camping out there. You don't know what he's been doing, and he shows up and he's this wacky old Jedi.
Well, he might be in that Acolyte
Sure
show
he will
that's
be.
coming out next year.
'Cause he
But
puts
that one,
assassins-
I will say, we have been shitting on Star Wars. I actually have heard very good things about that. It's going to take place like 100 years before Phantom Menace, and there's rumors that Keanu Reeves is in it too.
Okay.
A lot of Jedi.
I'll see a trailer.
That's like shit that they should be
Yeah.
making.
Yeah, they need to with the old character. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they do this because everyone knows Lando.
Mhm.
But they should just, original ideas, get away from this timeline.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's been done.
It's
I
been
don't know.
overdone.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway.
Well, Loki,
Oh,
know him?
Here we go.
the god of mischief. I mean, we loved season 1 of Loki, right, Matt? I don't know. It was probably my favorite of the shows so far, the MCU shows, up there with WandaVision.
Agreed.
Yeah, I thought it was a good first season. We loved Owen Wilson as Mobius.
Great.
He's going to be in Deadpool 3, as we know.
Ciao.
We got season 2 trailer for this. Now, a lot of talk about this recently because the Jonathan Majors thing. He was, it sets up at the end of that first season that he's going to be maybe the big bad for this show going forward and the MCU in general. And we actually did see him in this trailer. They didn't hide him too much. They addressed it. He was in the post-credit scene for what movie did we see that he was in the post-credit scene for?
Ant-Man.
Oh, Ant-Man. Yeah.
Quantumania.
Yep. So I don't know. What'd you think of this trailer? I liked it. It seems like it's continuing right off of the vibe, Mobius and Loki working together.
Dude, I fucking love Loki.
Yeah.
It's these MCU shows, like, I kind of hate.
Yeah.
But they started off good. WandaVision was
Yeah.
so original and creative and cool.
Mhm.
And then this happened.
Yep.
I'm like, MCU doesn't miss.
Yeah.
And then all they did was miss after.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But, dude, this show's f***ing cool. And I'll say 3 things why I like this trailer and why I'm excited for season 2. 1, Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston.
Yep.
They carry the show. I didn't know I needed Owen Wilson in the MCU.
Yeah.
But, dude, he's probably my favorite character out of any of the shows.
Mm-hmm.
He just works perfectly, and Tom Hiddleston is so good as this character. Just seeing them on screen together, that's why I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I love so much about Loki, just like the theme and like the tone, mainly the tone of this whole world, is so kind of quirky and weird. And I feel like it's so, I don't know, specific for this show.
Yes.
And which I love, the whole like time thing.
The TVA is like a great concept.
Like in season 1, I thought I had no idea. I didn't know what I was walking into.
Yeah.
And so if we're getting more of that, dude, I'm excited. And it seems like pretty wacky, like he's teleporting everywhere. So I'm excited.
I mean, you're right. They hit the ground running after
They did.
Endgame. For a little period there, I'm like, damn, I
Spider-Man.
mean, they're just going with it.
Jake Gyllenhaal, the second Spider-Man,
Yeah.
like they were still like, all right, MCU still.
And I don't know if it was COVID when they had to move around all those movies and delayed them when shit just started hitting the fan. But I don't know. I mean, Secret Invasion is currently the lowest rated MCU property ever at 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I looked. It was like 66 when I looked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe the finale got
I
an
think
8%.
that's what it was.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the finale yet.
But so I don't know. I mean, I've heard bad things about that finale, but I've also heard that the show isn't as bad
the
as people
show
are saying.
is okay.
Right.
I was excited just for Samuel Jackson. I'm like, this is not going to be like more superhero. It's kind of going to be like a spy thriller.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And I was excited. I was really pulling.
The trailer looked great.
It's okay.
And you had a great cast too.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for this. I'm very selective with the things I'm excited for in the MCU
Me too.
right now. Deadpool 3, this stuff.
I don't even count Deadpool. That's its own thing.
Right. It's gonna be But I mean, Nick, obviously, you haven't seen Loki, right?
No,
you know of Loki.
Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have it, so I haven't seen it.
It's a fun show.
Listen, the trailer looked good.
Yeah.
The Jonathan Majors thing, I have, there's been no updates or news on that, and so I don't know if that's even really a thing anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes no news is good news.
Yeah. Well, and same with this happens all the time. Like this, they drop the charges against Alec Baldwin too. Like there's no, no rest for the wicked. You know.
Yeah.
What's it called? This trailer did look sick. I really like the special effects and stuff like that. I like a good time travel. Good, jumping around different timelines, and it seems very complicated. I admire when they're able to do it well because seems very I don't think I could make a film or show about someone who jumps through a million different timelines. Yeah. So confusing.
Because you go to Pompeii in the first.
Yeah, crazy. Short Round plays the guy.
Yeah, that was great. I forgot about that.
He fit the tone of this universe perfectly.
And I liked his that first scene with Owen Wilson and Short Round and whatever in the trailer. Yeah, when he walks in and he's like, "Can you fix it?" No. He's like, "Oh, so you've heard of this? Yes. Can you fix it?" No. I just thought that was good. It seems good.
I mean, Tom Hiddleston just clearly loves playing this character.
I love that,
and you can see it. And I think that goes for a lot. And I think that again, the concept was very well executed in that first season. It was something new, but it was through a character that we've seen before.
Dude, and I was not excited for season 1.
Well, when you think about it, it's kind of a weird concept. It's like Loki died in the movies, but this is an alternate universe Loki that survived, and it's is this going to work?
I was like, this is stupid. Loki died. It's over with him.
Yeah.
Then I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is kind of weird. And I fucking loved it.
Yeah, and the way they kind of threaded it into him seeing his life and how Thanos kills him and him changing his way because of that.
No, I
Interesting
enjoyed
stuff. I'm excited for this.
Me too.
October 6th, I'll be there. That's a good October.
This is going to be a good fall.
Yeah.
Good fall. We need a good fall watch.
Dune,
bit
Killers.
Halloween.
Thanksgiving. It's going to be a good fall. Yeah, I think so.
You get that, what is it, pumpkin spice. You watch some Loki.
And that's all right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Can I say so? This is totally unrelated.
Go.
The Haunted Mansion movie?
Oh, total flop.
July? What are you, crazy?
Buddy, don't even get me started.
What are you doing?
I know. Well, it's fucking unbelievable. With
it's not bright.
There are so many things where you look at the marketing and the thing is that they spend so much money. It's not like these movies cost $20,000, okay? These shows or whatever it is. And it's millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. And then you see someone drop a Haunted Mansion movie in July as opposed to October 31st, and you go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I feel like these people get they overthink it too much.
Oh yeah,
it's just
well,
dude,
if we drop it now, we'll have
if it's Haunted Mansion, Halloween, bang, boom.
You'd think.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. You throw so much money. There's so much money that they just throw at. I told you, this is just a side thing. I told you I was out this weekend with some other film people, and apparently on one of these bigger movies, I don't want to say which one because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but on one of these bigger movies, my buddy was a grip on the film, right? And they brought in, for one of these scenes, they brought in a crane where the camera goes on top of the crane and it's a whole thing. They needed a tractor trailer truck to bring the crane in. The truck has a driver. There's 4 additional crew members that come with the crane. Nobody can touch the crane except the crew members that are specially trained for the crane, right? Yeah. They set up all this dolly track and everything. Crazy thing. Director took a look at one shot, one take, and went, no. And they went to handheld, RJ, for the shot that they were thinking, put the camera on the shoulder. And I'm thinking to myself, could have just given me the $75K for that one day, that one shot. You got to pay him for the whole time.
Or you don't do previs,
dude. I get it. This is my point. I just don't understand why these people think that they can throw the money away in one respect, and then when it comes to marketing and it comes to dropping these things and building up that fan anticipation, it just seems like nobody gives a shit anymore. I don't get it.
I love that story that Matt Damon says about Clint Eastwood when he was filming the movie, and he Clint Eastwood's like famous for doing one takes.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon, he has this performance and he goes up to Clint Eastwood and he's like, hey, I'd really like to do that again. I feel like I could do it better. And he's like, why? So we can waste everyone else's time. And it's like, yeah. I mean, like,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
May not be the nicest way to say
No,
it,
yeah.
but like it's true.
honest.
Like
Yeah.
it's like,
I like that.
Yeah.
Like what? Like we're not here for you to like test out your performances or whatever. Like get it done.
Yeah,
They don't make him
You
like
know?
Clint.
Nobody
Lil
makes
Wayne.
them like
Yeah.
Clint. Some of Clint's recent work is a little
not
really
He's
good.
older.
That's all right.
way older.
That's all right.
Way up there.
God, did
Yeah.
I have a dream last night? Sometimes my dreams, speaking of Inception, they merge into
We were
reality.
speaking
a
of
bit.
Inception. I
Like,
didn't realize
the
we were
other-
speaking of Inception.
I don't know. Maybe I was in my head. Jesus. Seriously, I had a dream the other day that I opened my fridge and there was oat milk. But then in the next morning when I woke up, I went
was
to make a
peanut butter
protein
milk.
shake, Matt.
And there was oat milk.
There was no oat
Oh.
milk.
No.
So I thought the dream was
Idiot.
real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I thought I saw a movie trailer with Clint Eastwood in it, but that might have been a dream last night.
Only
Now that
you.
I think about
Only
that.
you.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear
Yeah.
what you're dreaming about.
Thank you.
You and Clint.
Yeah.
You know?
And Clint Batten.
And
Freaking
short
alright.
round.
Well,
You
I
got
got
a question?
I got a question today.
Oh,
Go
nice.
for it.
This is why I was speaking of Inception.
Oh.
Because the other day, I was thinking of my favorite Nolan movies.
Oh,
And I was
interesting.
wondering if we could share
Oh,
our
that's
favorite
nice.
Nolan
That's so-
movies,
that's
maybe
nice.
rank the top 3 or 5
All
for
right.
us.
Let me do a quick Google search
All right.
here.
Um,
All right, yeah.
Do you have yours
I
off
know
the
mine.
bat?
I know
Let
mine
me
off the
hear
bat.
'em. In order?
I'll give you an order.
All right.
1, Inception.
Nice.
I love 2, Dark Knight.
Nice.
3, Dark Knight Rises.
Nice.
That's it for me.
Yeah. You
I
got a
don't-
4 or 5 or no?
No,
Yeah.
I like all of them. I will say everyone hates on the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I think unfairly. I fucking love it. I
Mhm.
think it's cool. You must make the climb. It's great. You know,
Yeah.
the well. You must do it.
Einstein.
You still have to see
baby.
The Prestige
You must
too,
do
which
it
I
as-
think you'd really like.
Add it to the
Good
list.
movie.
That guy's awesome in the well.
We're just doing top 3, as you said?
Yeah, top
Okay.
3 is good. Top
Just do it
5,
as a
whatever you
child
want.
did without the rope.
Yep.
It's brilliant.
Tom Conti, Albert Einstein.
Good movie. No, all those movies are good, but me personally, those are my 3
Have you
favorites.
seen The Prestige?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that movie. It's
Go
good.
ahead.
It's
What are
Christian
yours?
Bale and Hugh
Do you do it?
Jackman.
You doing 3, 2, 1? Like 1 is the best one, or what do you think? How do you
Yeah,
wanna do it?
I'll go in order.
Okay.
See, I'm with you. The top 2 are definitely Inception and The Dark
Mhm.
Knight. I could flip either way.
Same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Same. Depending on the day.
But I'll go with Inception 1, Dark Knight 2,
Yep.
3, Interstellar.
Oh yeah, you
And then
love
I
that
think
movie.
Oppenheimer's a close 4 for me.
Okay. Yeah. I really liked Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
I really liked Oppenheimer, but I'm gonna go Dunkirk number 1.
Dunkirk's right after
Great
Oppenheimer. It's
movie.
right there.
For me, yeah, but you know me with the superhero
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for me, it's gonna go Dunkirk, Oppenheimer, Interstellar, and then like maybe Prestige, and then Dark Knight.
Nice.
You know, because like Tenet, who gives a shit? Inception.
Tenet's my least favorite.
Inception, I
Nolan
feel like was a lot of overhype. It's very good. I know. You love it. I know you love it, and I like it too. It's not a bad film,
It's a
but
dream
it's like,
within a dream
No,
within a
you're
dream.
right.
It's like a
It's a
movie
phenomenal
within-
film.
yeah, movie within a dream, within a
Yeah,
top, within a spinning, within the water, and there's a lot of stuff. And listen, one thing. Speaking of all this other shit that we've been talking about, like Nolan is incredible at marketing. Like he'll do something crazy. I think part of the appeal of Christopher Nolan is the no CG, like he does everything. So there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes to film.
But he also makes movies like Inception, and for me, like that's such an incredible like concept and something we've never seen before that he did then when it came out.
Yes.
In between
Yes, I
making The
agree.
Dark Knight and The Dark
Crazy.
Knight Rises. Like he
He's
just
on
like
fire.
casually, he's like, I got time between these 2 movies. Let's make Inception.
Yes,
And it's like
yes.
kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, even Inception
Yeah.
wise, I know there's clearly a lot of CG in there, and there has to be, but
Yeah.
like not a lot though, like less than
No.
you would think.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah,
the
yeah.
world is bending in
he
half,
shoots it
that's
on
CG.
location still. Yeah.
But when they're sitting at that cafe
Yeah, and
and
it
the thing
bends over.
blows
Yeah,
up,
sure.
no. When
Oh,
they're
I like
sitting there
that
and it
scene.
explodes
Yeah.
in slow mo,
Good
he shot
scene.
that practically.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it really exploded.
Good
Like,
and
that
scene.
was
the
sick.
turning of the
Yeah,
hotel room.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The
Yeah.
hallway,
Another good
everything.
scene.
Wait, let me hear your list again.
So for me though, for
Yeah.
Dunkirk is number 1.
Yeah, I love Dunkirk.
Oppenheimer number 2,
Mhm.
Interstellar number 3.
Okay.
No, Prestige number 3, Interstellar, and then Dark Knight.
I was curious if you had Interstellar on there.
Yeah. I love Interstellar.
That's one that's, I think, like 20 years from now, like that's going to be like talked about a lot.
Well,
him.
Same with like
It's
Kubrick, 2001. Yeah.
It's Nolan's 2001.
Yeah, it is. And but it's not 2001, which is great.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if it was just a fucking
dude,
remake or
every
something.
time that McConaughey scene when he's watching the videos.
And he cries?
Ugh.
Oh, dude, I lose it.
Fucking amazing.
Unbelievable
I think that's
performances.
Tom's favorite movie ever.
Really?
Interstellar.
That's one I never saw that in theaters. I wish I could go back and watch that in theaters.
What's that? Is it? I don't know if you've seen it or not. I think it's on HBO. It might be on Netflix. It has the kid from Breaking Bad, which you love, Jesse. And it has the guy who's going to be Two-Face. He plays Josh Hartnett.
Really?
Yeah,
Speed Racer.
They're no. they play astronauts and they have robot doubles of themselves on Earth. Oh, it might be. You know what? I think it's an episode of Black Mirror that I'm thinking of.
No, it is. Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Black
episodes.
Mirror, this news.
And so the way that this episode works, it just goes into Interstellar a little bit. But the way that the episode works is you have these two space cadets or whatever that work on a space station, and they go into like a hyperbaric chamber and go to sleep, and then their mind is transferred to the robot,
like Avatar,
robot version of them. Kind of like more, it's like Avatar, except they don't go to blue people; they go to Westworld.
Sure,
right?
Oh, okay.
So it looks like them, and they interact with their whatever, and it's just an interesting like take on it because they can't like. If something goes wrong with the robot, like they're stuck on the ship, they can't see their family or anything. So it's a way to keep them like mentally sane. They get to still hang out with their families and all this other stuff. But I love the concept of like time in Interstellar. Like that's like that whole you know, like that's really great. Obviously the different dimensions and all that other stuff. He made it like totally work. And I love whenever a director can take a concept. This is very similar to Oppenheimer with the friggin' physics and all this other bullshit that's like so beyond my realm of thing. I'll never be that smart, you know? But you have Interstellar with black holes and something like Oppenheimer with the physics, quantum mechanics, all this other shit. But I walked away from that movie going like, yeah, I get it.
You understand enough of it.
Enough of it to watch the movie and not feel like a complete moron.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I really like that. But Dark Knight is you can't throw away Dark Knight. You know, like it's got to be on my list somewhere. It's definitely in the top 10.
Have you seen Insomnia?
I'm looking at it right now. I haven't seen it. That's got Robin Williams
and Al Pacino.
Wait, is that Nolan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Insomnia.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
We watched that with Christian.
That was his second movie after Memento.
Dude, that was a good movie, dude.
Yeah,
Al Pacino was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting.
I want to watch his first movie, Following.
Yeah, Following.
Which I was watching interviews. He shot that movie with like no budget.
Yeah.
He would just shoot every Saturday.
He's
like
given a lot of interviews about no budget filmmaking.
Did you watch that video I sent you with him and Cillian Murphy at the
when they walk around
club?
the video store?
Good.
So good.
Because Nolan's like, you watch that, it's like him and Cillian Murphy are just in a like movie store.
I'm gonna watch this now.
And it's literally just Nolan being like, great movie. Like he picks him
literally.
up.
Yeah.
No, he's like he picks Heat out. Oh, great movie.
Yeah,
it's just great.
Yeah,
and then Cillian Murphy
and-
sits there and he's like, oh, I haven't seen that.
Well, so what's really
It's like
cool
a-
is you get that behind the curtain kind of look at Nolan's like mindset on things. He'll
Yeah.
like pick up a movie and go, "This is where I got the inspiration for Dark Knight. This is where I got the
Yeah,
inspiration for Inception."
Oh, can you send me a link to that?
Yeah, dude, it's sick.
But
It's
I
a
also
great
like
little
that,
walk-around
like he's
bullshit
not
thing.
like, because sometimes like some of these filmmakers will get a little pretentious.
No, that's what I liked about
But
this.
he
didn't
he
at
was
all.
have you seen the interview the other day he had on the radio show? They go, so Nolan, what do you the guy's like, what do you watch on TV when you're flicking through channels? And he's like, he said Stanley Kubrick, whatever. And then he goes, the other day I was watching Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, Ricky Bobby. He's like, hey, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
oh,
so
that's
good.
awesome.
I love that.
It makes people real, dude.
Yeah.
Man, it
man.
makes, on our side of things too, I feel
Fun
like
movie.
seeing stuff like that makes it feel more like it's like, oh, my dreams are possible.
He's like one of us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, one of us.
One
of us.
Or more
One
like
of
we
us.
could be one of them,
Right.
When you see this pretentious shit, like honestly, I saw this interview with with Bill Maher and Quentin Tarantino. It was just on the he has Bill Maher has a podcast.
Yeah,
like
I know
the
you're talking
Club
about, yeah.
Everything or Club Random or something like that.
Club
And it's-
Penguin.
Whatever, yeah. Exactly. They're sitting there and typing to each other. RuneScape. So he's Quentin Tarantino's sitting there, and I love Quentin. Okay, but every now and then,
No, it's a lot.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
He gets a
he's
little
psychotic.
pretentious.
I will say,
Yes.
though, he ranked Dunkirk his third favorite movie of the decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like he was talking about 1917 and how
Yes,
he
he doesn't like 1917.
Oh, I love that. That's a great
like
movie,
19.
dude.
Quentin Tarantino does not like
Oh,
1917.
come on.
Yeah, it was about, like, the gimmick, right?
Yeah, he was like, if you're gonna do long takes, do long takes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. It's more the vocabulary that's used, I guess.
Yeah.
It's that pretentious kind of I'm a film, blah blah blah.
But when I watched that video, like you've probably felt the same way. Like I felt like if I was in that room with Nolan, I would have felt on the same level.
Yeah,
you're like,
that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. I like to feel like I'm not crazy for thinking that I can make movies too. You know?
yeah, and he's like, we know he's a genius. Like,
Of course he is.
clearly understands the physics in Oppenheimer that we don't.
100%.
But still, you can have a normal conversation.
Yeah,
with
but
him.
I don't think we would ever make a movie like that.
No,
with
that's
physics
what.
and
Yeah.
everything. What I'm
It's
saying
just,
though is on the level of where I'm trying to head mentally and like what I'm working toward and everything else. I'm like, is it even possible? And sometimes, like when you see these Kardashians and all these people,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like you never know if it's even possible because they're just so uber famous for doing nothing. And like they're so pretentious, and you have all these people that are out there that are just like this elite 10-foot gates around this community kind of club.
Mhm.
And then you see that video store interview with Nolan, and you're like, oh, you are a real person. Like
And
you're
he's
just a
sitting at
regular
home
dude.
watching yeah, it's just.
And he's one of the most successful directors
Yeah,
of all
yeah.
time. I mean, that's so cool.
Listen,
you
he's
know,
the great improviser.
he is.
Yep.
He is the great
And
improviser.
that's all right.
Jimi
But
Hendrix.
good episode, huh?
It's a good
Good
time.
episode in studio here,
yeah,
guys.
we're just 57.
Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
Look at that. Round it.
Oh,
Round
God.
it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let us know your top 3 favorite Nolan movies. Let us know your thoughts on anything else we talked about today, guys. We love answering questions on the pod. Haven't had a question in a while. Send one in if you're watching. We'll answer that next week, guys. But for us, that'll do it. We'll see you next week. All right?
So-
Movie Mob Podcast drops every Friday at 6 p.m. Ignore what just happened there and watch the show. All right, guys. We'll see you. How you doing?